Okay, this is the Brajenovich Green group. Okay, green group. I think we had a little bit of confusion when we were packing up. Oops, put a stray mark there. Let me erase that. Okay. We had a little bit of confusion when it came to what you were finally going to write down. I think you guys were trying to write something cool here, but I kind of helped you a little bit because I wasn't entirely clear, but I think we came up with something like this. And I think if I looked at this correctly, this should be DF, DF, and this is EG, EG. And then I don't know if I'm filling these in correctly, but I'm just assuming based on what I'm seeing up here on the top line. Okay, now the line that I have now, that we have now, is this one. Okay, here's what it sounds like. It's actually a really cool rhythm line. T T T T ta T T T T T T T T T ta T T T T ta. I think you have the same rhythm. So let me just correct what we have here. Let me write it in green. So it should be T T T T with an eighth rest. This eighth rest is the same as half of a T. So it would be not a whole beat like a quarter rest. It would be half of a beat. So it would be T T T ta ta, if I'm reading that right. So, and the way that works is this is a beat. Whoops, let me try it again. Let's see. This is a beat, these two are a beat, this is a beat, and this is a beat. So that's your 4 beats. So ti-ta, ta. And then I think you had the same here. This would be written as ti-ta with an eighth rest, ti-ta, ta. All right? So that's what that would look like. All right, now, if you want to know what it sounds like, you have D and F here first, and then you go to E and G, and then you land on the ta on E and F. So here's what it sounds like. It's T-ta, 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 T-ta. Okay? Now, I don't know if you've heard it, because this is a recording, but this part, let's see here. This part right here, the E and the F, the E and the F on both parts. It's very clashy, all right? It just kind of clashes, all right? They're right next to each other, so it doesn't make a good sound harmonically. And even if you did care for it, the problem is when you write the rest of your lines, it's going to be hard to harmonize with it. So I'd really rather you change that. Now, you have a couple of options. The DF is fine, the EG is fine. Maybe if you either keep it on, and by the way, actually it should be written G at the top with E on the bottom. The smaller note is always on the top, the shorter note. So DF, GE, maybe either keep it on the GE, like that. I'll just change it here too. So when you play it, it would be D, E. All right. Now that's an option. What you can do, if you're not crazy about that, you could also do this. Here, let me take the eraser. Let me erase. Whoops, that's not the eraser. Let me take the eraser here and erase what I wrote. All right, let's see. Oh, once again, can't find the eraser. Okay, what you can do as well is maybe, let me write it in yellow. Maybe rather than DF, DF, maybe go ahead and write maybe G, oops, GE, GE, and make this AF. A, F. All right, and then G, E, A, F, and then bring this back to G and E. And then do the same, do the exact same thing here. As neat as I can write with my finger. Okay, so if you do that, it would sound like this. Which actually, that sounds pretty good too. If you're not crazy about that, let me make another suggestion. How about, and I'll keep it in yellow. Yellow seems to be showing up really good here. If you really want to start with a DF, then you can keep the DF. And again, we'll keep it G and E, G and E. But rather than staying on D and F, let's see, D, F, D, and then here I suggest going to E and G. We can do that. Then take it backwards. So you did D, F, D, F, G, E, G, E, G, E. Take it backwards. Start with G, E, and then D, F, or excuse me, D, F. And then you can end it on E and C. So that would sound like this, starting on the D, F. Okay, you're welcome to do that too. All right. And of course, there's other options as well. There's other options as well. The main thing is that you want to get rid of that clash that the E and F kind of form. You can also, you don't even have to do double stops. If you prefer doing single notes, you can just do D, F. You can just do just one D and one F, and then G, E, or E, G, and then strike the F, and then maybe F, D, E, G, and then strike the E. That would sound something like this. Oh, that's maybe a little out there, but I like the double stops, though. I like how you did that. So if I was to give a suggestion on what this could be, I would say this would be a great harmony line. It could even be a good melody line if you build it right. If you bring this down to a C, put a C in there somewhere, it would be a good melody line. Okay? Now, what I'd like you to do is finish off and fix this clash here, fix these clashes here, and figure out what you want to do. And I want you to play it 4 times through. I want everyone to play it 4 times through with 0 to 2 mistakes. Okay? Since it's going to be your harmony line, it's maybe a little complex at first, but I think it's more going to be the rhythm. And the rhythm, remember, is ti-ta, ti-ta, ta, ti-ta, ti-ta, ta. Okay? So yeah, once we get there, and then I'm going to show you a brief video on how to build harmony and how to take your next step. I think your next line that you would need to create would be a bass line. A bass line would be next. All right? So, good job.